Now that was a man. His name was Elijah. Elijah was a wonderful man of God, passionate about the things of God. The Bible says that Elijah had a contest with the people who had turned away from God and turned to some other god called Baal. And the whole nation, the people that used to serve God, they had gone their way and they were worshiping Baal, because there were some wicked queen with her husband, Queen Jezebel, and her husband Ahab, who led the people. Because of their worship of Baal, the people worshiped Baal, and there were prophets of Baal. I mean, Baal pastors, so to speak. And these people led the whole nation into worshiping evil, to the point that Elijah thought that he was alone in worshiping God in the whole nation. But this man did not stop just because he was alone. He didn't join the bandwagon just because he was the only one. He says, no, I'm going to face this whole crowd and I'm going to win. Because one with God, they say, is majority. But David proved the same thing. David didn't care about, everybody who feared Goliath. David thought, I am going to face this man alone. It was the last thing I did. Because when he faced Goliath, he said to him, you come against me with spear and weapons of warfare and your armies, but I come against you in the name of the Lord my God. Only one thing I have as a weapon against you, the name of our God. And that's what Elijah came with, the name of God. And that was this contest. And Elijah was fighting. He says, I'm going to call on my God. You're going to call on your God. Let's see which God is going to answer by fire. And that is Elijah's way of proving to them that God is the true God. To a nation, a people that have backslid, that have gone their own way, that have decided to worship money, to worship electronics, to worship all kinds of lies, atheism, Hinduism, and Buddhism, and all kinds of yogism, and all kinds of self-help, all kinds of wicked stuff, and all manner of stuff. People who have just gone their own ways and forgot about God and worship all kind of stuff. And Elijah faced them alone. I'm trying to say alone. Now, the fact that he thought he was alone made it to be alone, because he thought he was alone. But then, when he finally won the contest, fire came from heaven and fire burned the sacrifice. You know the story. They all scattered. The prophets of Baal who tried to call fire, they couldn't do anything. And then finally, God came with his fire and burned the sacrifice. And the whole people, their eyes opened. Because these people for whom we are praying in this nation to become Christians, their eyes are closed. The God of this world has blinded them. That's why they don't see anything. They don't understand anything. Just like the god Baal blinded them in the days of Elijah. They don't understand nothing. And they think they do, but they just don't. Until a man came praying and he thought he was alone, and he was praying alone to see that the whole nation, not just the king and the queen and all, but the whole nation would turn to God. He needed to prove to them that God still is, and he is a reward of those that seek him diligently. That God still is and is a God that rewards those that seek him diligently. And Elijah, when he had called down the fire and the whole people saw that the Lord, he is God. So by this miracle, their eyes were like opened, people began to ask questions. People began to say, whoa, what were we doing? What have we been doing? The Baal prophets have deceived us, and we need to understand and that this is all of a lie. You know, suddenly their eyes opened by the miracle of the man of God Elijah. And what happened after that? The same people that were deceived by the Baal prophets, by the fake prophets, by the fake pastors, by the fake religions, by the fake institutions, by the demonic people, the same people, the same ordinary people that were deceived by those wicked people, those ordinary people grabbed those wicked people and killed them by the command of the prophet Elijah. He says, get them, get them. And they caught them and killed them and massacred them. Now, I'm not saying we're going to catch people now and massacre. No. I'm just saying that is a figurative way of presenting you what God is going to do spiritually. Because as we are praying for this nation to become changed, for the people to receive understanding, for the eyes to open, for them to know Christ, for them to receive life, for them to have a relationship with their God, as we are praying, these people's eyes are going to be opened by the miracles that God is going to do through our challenge of the status quo in the nation where God has put us. And when that happens, their eyes are going to open, and these same ordinary people are going to forget about their yoga. They're going to burn their yoga books. They're going to burn their mystic books. They're going to turn away from their atheism. They're going to stop reading what they're reading. They're going to stop viewing what they're viewing on the internet. They're going to change completely. They're going to begin to read the Bible. They're going to grab all those things that they used to do and burn them and destroy them. They're going to get delivered from spirits of wickedness. And that's when the victory will begin. Then the second part, out of nowhere appeared a man called Jehu with an army to destroy the queen that led the people astray, Queen Jezebel. Because when Elijah was fighting, there was no Jehu nowhere. But after Elijah, though he fought alone, one Jehu appeared. The Jehus of this land will appear. I tell you the truth, the Jehus of this nation will come up by the time we win on our side of the warfare. On our front, when we win like Elijah won in prayer, because Elijah won just by prayer. He looked up, he says, Lord, show them that you are God. And fire came down and burned the whole thing, and the people's eyes opened, and the people grabbed the prophets of Baal, and the people killed them and removed them from the land. And it was after then, only then, that some Jehu came up. And by the time Jehu came up, it was a real change in the nation. Because Jehu transformed the whole nation. Because after Elijah did what he did, he went into hiding. But it was later on that Jehu would come and say, if anybody is for the Lord, if anybody is a Christian up there, is still in the house of Jezebel, you throw her down. I said, throw her down. Because if you don't throw her down, I come up there, I kill her and you. And people that serve Jezebel threw her down from the window. I mean, ordinary people grabbed the queen and threw her down from the tower. She fell down and died, and dogs eat her flesh on the streets. That was Jehu. That was nowhere when Elijah was fighting. I tell you, Jehus will rise in this nation. Jehus will rise with their armies in this nation. By the time we, the prayer warriors, the frontline fighters, finish our job, and God will do this miracle, and God will bring about absolute sanity in the land for which we are praying. God bless you as you pray for Spain, for Catalonia, God bless you as you pray for the souls of men in this country. We believe, we trust God, that God will do the same that He did everywhere that we've heard and seen, that the same that He did in the time of Elijah, He will do also in our time. God bless you for praying with us, and thank you for listening to this broadcast.